The American sense of entitlement. You see it everywhere. Everybody knows about it. Sometimes, if we go all the way back to the beginning, we go back to the Europeans or the Vikings, depending on which version of history you want to follow, or maybe the Chinese, because some people say there's evidence that they were on the West Coast, or maybe you can go back to the Phoenicians, right? Because there's markings in various places in the United States of even more ancient peoples who were here. So America has been this place that the North American continent, South American continent, have been this place where people have, from the more busy places in the world, the Middle East, Europe, Africa, have come seeking resources, land, freedom. Without regard to the fact that maybe somebody was here before us. You know, that we weren't the first people here. So people get to this continent and they well, I'm entitled because I don't see anybody else to the resources here, to the land, to whatever. It just exists in this part of the world because it's the place furthest from where all of our histories say the human family has risen from. And we get across these great big ponds, as oceans, we get to America, and it's like, wow, it's big, it's free, it's empty, it's filled up, I get to take, and it just hits people. I'm entitled. So maybe the American sense of entitlement is not with the poor. It's just with the fact that it's the last place. It's like the monkeys in the zoo that are picking on the otters, right? Well, they have opportunity, right? Otters are confined to the water. They don't walk very fast on land. And the monkeys are swinging around in the trees. I saw this on YouTube once. And they're busy pestering the otters. I mean, they're torturing the otters in many ways. And the otters are confined to the water and go up in the land a little bit and dive to get away from the monkeys. The monkeys are swinging in the trees, hopping on the land. They're just more agile and everything. And finally, a monkey makes a mistake. And monkeys got, they can grab with their front. So, they're just more adept at messing with other creatures, right? Otters, they got feet. They got 4 feet and they swim and dive and that. But one of the monkeys makes a mistake and he grabs an otter close to the water. The other otter hops on the monkey, and the next thing you know, you got a mob of otters. And they're doing the same thing now with the monkey, right? They're playing with the monkey and torturing the monkey as the monkeys have tortured them, except they pulled the monkey into their place where they can swim and dive and exist, right? They pulled them into their advantage area, right? Which is the water. And the monkey really has a hard time breathing, so that's it. The nice game of playing around, of being entitled to screw with other people's beings or lives, that's it. One monkey's done. They were just playing, right? They were entitled to it, right? Like the big alligators that come swimming along, and they're just entitled to munch on things that are smaller than them, right? Alligator, predator, great big teeth and everything. Caiman, crocodile, they're all the same family of reptile. Yeah, that's until an equally strong jaguar sees the caiman sitting on the shore, and he just swims across and he catches a caiman net, surprise, and whoops. Being a predator isn't everything it's made up to be. It's like the great white who goes around, they munch everything they can until a killer whale comes along who knows how to kill great white sharks. That's the sense of entitlement people get. It's a sense of entitlement animals get. Oh, I'm this, I'm on the pecking order and that. It's like the football fan who decides, well, I have the opportunity, and they run across the football field. This is English football. This isn't American football. We know this soccer. And the fans are screaming and yelling, and finally security grabs the guy and throws him down, and people are cheering because, he wasn't entitled to screw up their game. But in the process of handcuffing this guy, all of a sudden the security guards start beating him with their sticks. Next thing you know, the fans are out of the stands, and they're beating up the security guards because, you have authority to, get this guy out of the way, but you're not entitled to beat the snot out of him. And nature does that. And I saw this picture where the guy took a picture of an otter. Friendly little otter. He runs around, catches little fish and crayfish and little stuff like that, and stays out of the way of the big alligators, right? And crocodiles. Because, after all, they're both predators, but if one's bigger, well, you're done, right? So they got this picture of this otter with an alligator in its mouth. The otter has munched an alligator. And you can look at the size of the alligator. It's not any bigger than the otter. And you realize that this otter had realized, oh look, this other predator isn't that much bigger than me, so therefore it's not that much stronger than me, and it took the advantage and one less alligator. Now, the birds can't eat an alligator that big, but the otter munched him. So just because you're a predator doesn't entitle you to just do whatever you want. I mean, ask the lions in Africa. They get out of the way of the Cape buffalo. I mean, they hunt the Cape buffalo at times, but at other times there's a herd of buffalo, and the lions need to get out of the way because the buffalo will go out of their way if they can to kill a lion. They'll stomp them to death. And you see this on YouTube and stuff where the lions they're just careless, and the buffaloes are stomp, 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 and that's it. Even if you are the king of the beast, entitlement only goes so far. If you're the crocodile in the water, well, that only goes so far. Because you see pictures of where the crocodile's got a hold of the zebra. Again, it's on YouTube, right? And you can see it's just wearing them down. And a herd of hippos come over there and they just stomp on the crocodile until he lets go of the zebra. Grand old entitlement, right? Americans came here. Oh, woohoo! We're entitled to all of this. We want our freedom from the merry old King of England, France, and Ireland, head of his own church, But then we didn't extend that to the natives that were here ahead of us or the Africans that we imported as slaves. And we pushed and we shoved, and because we were bigger and stronger when we were a younger nation, right? And then our sense of entitlement, we developed our own system, and then you have all these Americans that think they're entitled. Just like our forefathers, to what somebody else had worked for. You see, in the beginning, it wasn't all Americans that came here who thought they were entitled to just steal and kill and destroy the native population. It was just a certain amount. There were some that came here in peace. There were some that came for religious reasons, and they didn't mean any harm to anybody. And there were others that came and they traded, and but there was a certain percentage of them. They thought they were entitled to take and to enslave and to kill. And we still have their children in our population. And our government is allowing that. And now the foreigners are like, well, we're entitled to take from America. Well, what comes around goes around, and it's not based on your skin color. It's not based on your sex. I mean, take a look at all the lions in Africa. The buffaloes will stomp a male lion as they will stomp a female lion. And the lions will kill a buffalo whether it's male or female. Yeah, lions will kill anything they can because they'll kill a cheetah or a leopard if they get a chance. So between predators, there still isn't this I'm entitled to not be bothered. I mean, that's how nature is running now. And hopefully human beings don't descend to that level. Because most of the animals in nature, they'll get out of each other's way. The coyote that tries to steal from the wolf's kill usually waits until the wolf gets far enough away. As with the bear and the lion, they have their pecking orders. They wait. And if they don't, well, the bear, the wolf, the lion, the wolverine, they'll all protect, what they've worked for. Actually, the scavengers will protect what they stole. So, it's all there in nature. It'd really be nice if human beings were better than that. And in some ways, nature doesn't even descend to the level that human beings do, because usually in nature, you don't have lions eating their own young, or leopards or wolves. They usually don't eat their own young. They usually don't kill their own. They'll kill somebody else's child. They'll kill somebody else's offspring. Killer whale doesn't kill its own offspring. That's just pretty much a standard law in nature. They don't kill their own offspring. Yeah, a sense of entitlement and what we see in nature and the rules of nature, right? Yeah. Human beings don't do that. Some live better than the animals. Others descend to a different level. Because, hey, they think they're entitled to that.